Are we now?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
We're live?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So the
clearly,
Indy 500 goes past you again.
clearly, Pat McAfee wasn't the only person that creamed himself on that episode of SmackDown.
Wait, how are we live? I don't even see anything.
Because we're live, Marcus.
Come on, live.
We're live? It still says scheduled for me. Nothing changed. I
What
don't
are
have a
you looking at?
thumbnail. I don't have a thumbnail or nothing.
Are you
It
having
should say
something?
live in the corner.
Nope.
It says live for 38 seconds, Mark. And you're talking to us. I think we're.
Not for me.
But how are we talking to you if we're not live, Marcus?
We're talking, but nothing's changed. Normally it says live in the corner. Normally there's a thumbnail up top, and stuff. I have none of this.
Do you still see?
Wait, you don't see the thumbnail. You just see us.
I just see you guys.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, you might need to come out and come back in.
He's coming out. He wants the world
What?
to know.
This is
Let
bullshit.
it show.
I'm coming out.
Want the world to know.
We about to get a copyright flag for fast singing. Did he leave?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we got a copyright flag.
Man, did he leave? Because if he's gone, I want everybody to know I can't stand his ass. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, he's gone.
I'm glad he go. Shit. Come to my house, eat up all my food, and walk away.
Cuss out your mashed potatoes.
Now, I had no mashed potatoes in the house, man. No mashed potatoes in my house. That's on every day. Thanksgiving is a special day, and not for mashed potatoes. They don't belong on Thanksgiving. It's like Marcus are below. Did he leave? Oh,
Yeah, he said he...
So, Manny, the spoiler, the situation, Toni Storm picked the perfect time to go and confront Charlotte because there was no way she can get into her final form with them boots that she was wearing on that day. She could not become barefoot Charlotte. And that was the first thing that I thought about when I saw Charlotte walk out in them boots.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what you were talking about. It does. It does. I don't know what happened. I'm here. I'm live.
I was just pointing out, Mark, that I can't. When all your secrets have been exposed at the Thanksgiving table and your Dallas Cowboys have lost, that's the look that you get.
What? Are we still in the thumbnail?
Yes.
Don't get it.
Manny,
This is so weird.
Manny, I think you might have to go live and see if Marcus pops up on the screen.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's there. I see him.
But there's no thumbnail.
Wait, did we run the music?
No. Let's run the music.
Let's run the entrance. Let's see what happens.
This is so backwards today.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast, a.k.a. the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show. I'm Eric.
Okay.
What? I'm Manny D. Hayes. The D stands for delicious.
On Thanksgiving, that's a good thing.
Well, if you're going to be D, I am Marcus D. Grand finale.
Well, since everybody has to have a name, I guess I'm Eric, the whole effing meal. That's who I am. Because
I didn't even change mine. I'm the same thing.
Yeah, but I can't let Manny be, the only
delicious.
one with yes,
Why can't he be delicious?
Because I gotta be the whole. I'm the whole fucking meal, Marcus. That's what I am. And fuck Hulk Hogan, fuck the Gators, fuck Emory Jones, and fuck the plane you flew in on. J.K. Smush is on one already at the very beginning of this show.
He came in with way too many fucks, but I echo the sentiments. Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say fuck Emery Jones, whoever that may be, because I don't know who that is.
Is he the new coach?
That I don't know.
I don't know. Let him live with it.
What
fuck that man and the horse he flew in on. And Eric, shout out to the Lakers for getting Frank Vogel fired last night.
Yeah. He anytime it's gonna be a watch. Frank Vogel firing watch is gonna happen sooner rather than later, Marcus. It might not be the 3 weeks that was promised by somebody that we was related to, but damn it looks like it's gonna happen. But someone that got really fucked this week, quite frankly, was wrestling fans this week, because I thought that this week they really took off for the Thanksgiving holidays, because there is really nothing worth a damn except for one segment that took place on Dynamite worth talking about.
Okay.
And no one has anything else to chime in right there. But
no, you didn't. You seemed like you were still in mid-sentence. That wasn't the end of a sentence.
That's true.
That wasn't the end of a sentence. He was like, the only thing you have one thing about Dynamite.
But, you know.
Oh, he's not going to say anything else. There were no questions. There was no reason for us to jump in. How the hell do you do to that situation?
I think that the biggest disappointment was something that Manny alluded to when we were doing a Survivor Series watch along, about how, like, when you watch Survivor Series, you have to wait all the way to Friday to get the fallout from Survivor Series or Smackdown. Quite frankly, I waited 5 days, and that's what Smackdown delivered to me. I was quite disappointed. Marcus, I'll go to you first. How did you feel about your Smackdown viewing on on Black Friday?
Well, I felt like it was a show that I didn't really need to see. And it really didn't progress much in the terms of storylines, while everything kind of stayed the status quo. I did enjoy the opening segment of them, I'm going to say, berating, harassing, and throwing out of Kayla Braxton in the middle, who may have lost her last name, because I rarely hear them call her Kayla Braxton these days. Who lost, and she got thrown out the ring and by the tribal chief, the head of the table, and Paul Heyman. And then they said they were just going to sit in the back all night, basically. That's pretty much what happened.
It seemed like this was like the Kayla Braxton show to get her over a little bit more, because, you can't substantiate rumors. Rumors are just rumors, and don't you come with me with just rumors. Manny, have you ever, chastised somebody for just presenting rumors to you, but not the cold hard facts? Because that's what Paul Heyman wanted.
Chastise, that's a bit far.
It's a harsh word.
I mean, I would just be like, pictures or video, or I don't believe it. That's as far as I go.
I'm in that different category. I'm that different category. I go, oh, you heard what so-and-so said? I just spread the gossip. Don't care if it's true or not. I enjoy all of the dirt. I enjoy it. It's like, ooh, and then I go, ooh, okay. I see. I got that juicy gossip. Oh, that Brock Lesnar on his way.
The tribal chief and his crew, they're ready to get a harassment lawsuit filed against all of them, because what they're doing to Kayla is going a little bit too far. And Manny, were you happy that her freckles were on display? She didn't cover her freckles up on this week's episode of SmackDown.
Freckled Kayla is the best version of Kayla.
So
let's just be some camera zoomed into her. Although Roman
she's real.
Although it also be in the segment, Roman Reigns teased that he ain't gonna be around much longer, like he was dying, and I was like, "Oh shit, so leukemia good, man?" Like, I'll be gone sooner rather than later. Like, he has big plans going on. He got big money schemes in the Hollywood business, or he planned on retiring and hanging it up.
So let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to the end, where we had a battle royal. Let's address the first elephant in the room that I think no one really cared about. Was that, for whatever reason, Drew McIntyre was left off of the battle royal entrance, and he came out waving a sword at everybody. Manny,
why wasn't this man arrested?
I don't know. And do we have any idea of why he was left off of this battle royal when Drew Gulak got into the battle royal? Did they get the wrong Drews mixed up when they did the battle royal?
They must have put the wrong Drew on the piece of paper. They must have just put Drew on the piece of paper. Like, we need Drew. Gulak took his opportunity and was like, "This is TV time for me."
Someone got fired over that, and they don't watch the show, and they were like, "Put Drew in a thing. Make sure you got Drew in there." Damn, all right. And they went through alphabetical order, and the first thing that came up was Gulak, because it comes up before McIntyre. They were like, well, we done. We got Drew in. It was either him or Drew Carey. And he's in there, and it's like, oh, man. He should be in jail. But the main thing about this, none of it made sense. With this authority figures, or whatever Pierce and DeVille are, I guess they're full-blown heels. But it doesn't make sense. Like, why? Why are they in the pocket of Roman?
My favorite part of the entire thing is when Sheamus came up, looked at the sign, like it was varsity. If he was gonna make the varsity team, he had his little can. He tapped it, knowing that he was in there, and then he told Drew, "Oh, your ass ain't in it." And Drew was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Huh? What a way to deliver news to somebody."
Yeah, but Drew's there only in that match. Drew was the only real main eventer in that match. The rest of them are mid-card. The rest of them were mid-card guys. Marcus, there was no main eventers in that match. Sheamus is the biggest mid-card guy there is. He is a gatekeeper for the mid-card.
Marcus, we're on the 5th coming of Jeff Hardy, Marcus. If you saw how crazy that crowd went when everyone thought that Jeff Hardy won, but of course they did the WWE ending of Sammy was not eliminated and he defeated Jeff, and now he has a title shot, I guess, against the Tribal Chief. Manny, did you like the swerve of Jeff Hardy getting screwed? Because I was ready for a Jeff Hardy Roman Reigns.
I mean, I was ready for it, but then also like coming off of Monday with Sami Zayn being a snitch, I feel like we need this weasel character in the main event picture for a bit. I'm digging the weaselness of Sami Zayn. We still haven't got the full end to this whole conspiracy, which I'm kind of digging. So I want to hear the end of this story, and I think it'd be something that Sami Zayn has a match with Roman towards the end, like where Christmas happened, and then that's it for WWE programming for the year.
I think for me, what I really enjoyed about the segment was because after Sammy won, they brought Kayla back into the ring. This is the most Kayla has been in the ring on SmackDown in a long time, because she was going to interview Sami Zayn. And then, excuse me, I'm getting word. Marcus.
Who sent her the word?
Her rumors became truth, Marcus. And then they cut to Adam Pearce, and he was like, oh my God. Like, are you intrigued at all with Brock being there next week?
Yeah. I feel like he's not going to do much, and him and Roman aren't going to fight for probably either Rumble or Day 1. So it's not much intrigue there. Sammy's going to get fed within the next 2 weeks to Roman, by the way.
So it was interesting, though, because the arena that SmackDown was supposed to be in next week or the week before, the storyline going out of it was that arena had tweeted out that Brock Lesnar's bought a ticket. So I think they've changed the creative and then just moved it forward, because I remember saying, imagine if they put Brock Lesnar guy next to Brock Lesnar, how funny would that be?
Well, Manny, it's funny you should say that. That was advertised for Staples Center, now futurely known as the Crypto.com Center.
I think they just called it the Crypt, man. The Crypt.
Yeah.
The blood's got to be rolling over in their grave. And
we lost. We lost. They got their own currency. Where's blood though?
Hey, Marcus, you guys, the Clippers still have opportunity. You guys do have red. You guys can come up the Blood Dome. All the Bloods in there, and true rival Crips and Bloods, man.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the 10th of December. He was gonna be in the crowd, but I guess they changed all that to bring him back early. Maybe Brock has canceled something, whatever he was up to. Oh, I'm free. I can show up wherever we're at next week. So, it is what it is.
JK Smush in the chat room, he asked the question, and Marcus, since I know you are a huge Mr. Perfect fan, is Sheamus this generation of Mr. Perfect?
I feel like he's too big to be that. Even though he always delivered great matches. Yeah, it's probably Dolph.
Except sadly, Dolph did win a championship, unlike Mr. Perfect never got the biggest prize in the game.
Well, he got the biggest prize in WCW.
It's a cash-in. It's not big. That cash-in probably wasn't a big deal because it went nowhere, that him being World Heavyweight Champion.
Perfect got the WCW World Championship, though.
So let's also talk about the most hated female in professional wrestling, Charlotte Flair. I think last week I was under the impression we were going to have Charlotte versus Toni in the match this week, but clearly when Charlotte came out in them boots, that was not the case. She said she was disappointed by the officiating in WWE, and Becky can only beat her by cheating, but whatever. She's past that point. Toni Storm then interrupts and says, "Hey, now we gonna get our match on," and then she got creamed at that point. Manny, how did you take Toni Storm being creamed by Charlotte on national television?
Well, first of all, you're making me be the pervert on this thing, even though, yes, I named the show today.
All signs point to you, Manny. I mean,
it's overwhelming evidence that Manny's guilty in this one. That forced that.
It was funny though. I thought it was funny, but I felt like Toni needed to get Charlotte instead.
Yeah.
For Toni to get over, because like Toni needs something, because like as even in Charlotte's promo of like, I didn't know who the hell you were, it does make sense.
Yeah,
a lot of these people that watch Raw and SmackDown probably wouldn't know who Toni Storm is.
You don't know my name.
In comparison to like if she was to go against Sasha Banks, where everyone knows her as your household name.
Yeah.
No, but
if that song would have played, go ahead.
I thought it was a solid segment because I think it does put a freshness to the women's division, and considering what's going on with Sasha that we'll talk about next, which I'm still confused by, I was impressed with the agility that Charlotte had in those shoes that she was wearing, because I thought, when Marcus broke to the videos that her and Andrade was over, I didn't know where she was going to go from here, but seems like that bitch is back. Like, she is truly that bitch. Jay Cargill could take some lessons from Charlotte. Marcus, what did you feel about Toni Storm being creamed, but actually putting herself in the main event?
I did not like this segment at all. I thought it started off right, with her coming out there and Charlotte putting it down, was not knowing her name. But then at the end of it, you just feel sorry for Toni Storm. I don't understand. Why did she feel so helpless? Like, she had the Liv Morgan treatment after Becky made her cry. And it was basically the same segment with Toni Storm getting a pie in her face. Not just once, but twice. And did nothing about it. The table had no reason to still be out there. Unless somebody was going through that table or there was going to be some type of revenge. It made no sense. And I was just like, oh. Why are we going this route? We already got Liv Morgan going this route of being punked by one of the horsewomen. Why is Toni Storm getting punked? And we're at this current stage where it just seems like everybody's getting punked by the horsewomen, and it's the same story over and over. And Vince forgot he wrote this already.
Well, not necessarily, Marcus. The other horsewoman, Sasha, apparently is now best friends with Naomi, and decided to confront Sonya Deville about what is going on. What is her issue with Naomi? And that proceeded to Sonya becoming Teddy Long and making a tag match.
Well,
and doing commentating.
This made me mad because realistically, Eric, let's call a spade because I gotta call a spade here.
Oh yeah, do it.
Sasha Banks confronting Sonya Deville. What's your problem with Naomi anyway? Is it because she's better than you? Is it because you know what the next sentence was? Because she's black. Just like me. If you got a problem with black people, you got a problem with me too. And so that's where we're at in this feud. I hear an echo.
I think it's you.
It can't be me. I can't hear myself give other people.
But I heard the echo when you were talking before, but whatever. Manny.
How is it me?
Well, Manny, the treacherous snake Sasha is back in the game again, teaming up apparently with somebody that she's going to eventually turn on. Are you tired of seeing this reiteration of Sasha Banks? I guess every year.
I don't even think her feud with Shotzi Blackheart's finished.
No, excuse me. Only Shotzi. They took the Blackheart away from her.
No, she will always be Shotzi Blackheart. Yeah, but I don't even think that feud's done. Like, it didn't seem like it was over at Survivor Series, because that was the running thing all through that Survivor Series match is Shotzi and Sasha. So it's like they've just merged Sasha into the Naomi and Sonya feud, unless Shotzi ends up. There's too many S's. Unless Shotzi ends up with Sonya.
And I think that was one of the big disappointing things about SmackDown. Like, you tune into SmackDown to see what took place after Survivor Series, if we will have some fallout. And like, there was no really addressing Shotzi and Sasha. Instead, we got Natty and Shayna. And I'm just like, I don't want Natty and I don't need Shayna in this situation. It's supposed to be Shotzi and Sonya. I mean, Shotzi and Sasha.
Oh my
You're
God.
right. There is too many S's in that one because I got confused.
I will not get confused when I talk about Sasha and Sonya. And
You already did. You
You already
stumbled
did.
immediately. You stumbled immediately, sir.
I would not struggle. Shotzi, Sonya, and Sasha. I am not going to struggle. We're talking about this three-way feud between Shotzi, Sasha, and Sonya. And although I would say I thought the
What
match
about
was
Shayna?
okay. Oh, Shayna is involved in this too. Even though I thought the match was fine with Sasha, Shayna, Sonya on the outside, Sasha with Naomi fighting without Shotzi there. So, with Natty, featuring Natty. I'm saying everybody's name to see if I can do it. But I thought it was, I don't know where they're going, and I thought Sasha was going back to being a heel. I thought they were fixing it and saying, "No, Shotzi, you're the face. Sasha, you're the heel," and we fixed it. But I feel like when she stood up for Naomi, I was like, why'd she interject herself in this? Although I do enjoy feuds that don't involve the title.
I would also say
Unity!
that we did get one positive thing.
Unity.
We got one positive thing from SmackDown this week, and that's hard to say. We got Volume 2 of Xia Li's story, where it appears that her brother was bullied by a young Samoa Joe, because that character looks a lot like Samoa Joe to me. And I was like, man, Xia Li whooped up Samoa Joe's ass back in the day. Betty,
That character looked like he was in his 30s, beating up her little brother. I was like, that dude old.
I mean, he done failed class multiple times. But
Why your brother feuded with the janitor? Why he fighting him?
Hey, and then I just wondered, did Xia Li get kicked out of school after whooping his ass, Betty? Do you know any more details about Xia Li and her?
Because I'm Asian, I'm supposed to know the story of Xia Li.
Yes, Betty, you have already stated on a
I
past
am not the
episode
Asian correspondent for people.
for the delegation.
That's right.
You are.
Hey, we are the Black correspondent. We got the exclusive on Hit Row, okay?
We got it.
We got the exclusive.
Well, that they're broke and have no job
No,
at the moment.
don't worry. We had the exclusive on B-Fab, and that was followed up by the exclusive on Hit Row.
Yep. And whenever you come to us about black facts, we do it. Also, my sources close to me said Ben Simmons is going broke.
Yes,
That's
so
it.
you might
That's
have
it.
to play. So, Betty, you know what? I'll since you know what, I'll ask Marcus a different question. Marcus, do you think Xia Li is going to be released? Because this is Volume 2, and it seems like, Marcus, we might get to Volume 3, and then WWE will have another 2021 release, and Xia Li they will be included.
She gonna debut, she's gonna kick Naomi, and then she gets released 2 days later. That's the end of it. And I'm never gonna know why her or Aleister Black attacked black people before they got released. Oh, I don't know how many volumes of this we're gonna get, but I'm looking forward for it each week.
I feel like the interesting thing about it, Manny, and I think we're going to go back to this. You know how we saw Toni Storm get bullied by Charlotte? Maybe Xia Li will be the savior to help Toni Storm to stop being bullied in this situation. I mean,
I don't want that.
no
I
one
don't
wants
want that
it,
either.
but you got to figure out where it's going.
Hey, this is WWE. Don't really, they're not gonna try to connect dots here. They're not connecting dots.
Marcus, they did when Baron Corbin told on Madcap in that Battle Royal, and then Madcap laughed after they worked 2 nights. I mean, we had Cesaro defeating Ridge Holland.
Why did that happen?
Well,
Maybe
I
I'm
don't
just an angry wrestling fan this week. Why the hell Ridge taking? Why can't one person in this company have some type of winning streak or not lose in their debut match? They have all these new people they bring up, and they all look weak and pathetic. Toni Storm looked weak. Xia Li's in video package. She's the only one looking strong. Ridge Holland got beat really early on. Everybody they bring up, everybody they're using right now, all look weak.
because they have
Drew
the
looked
same-
weak, even though he's swinging the sword. He was crying with swinging that sword.
What actually, everything has the common denominator, Marcus. They all came from NXT. They all came from NXT. They're all NXT disciples. I mean, except for Angel Garza, Marcus, he got a win when he defeated Boogs. after Humberto Carrillo played that guitar on the food table and then he got swept.
Just
I mean, SmackDown wasn't shit, man. It just wasn't.
in his 50-50 storyline. Why is the Intercontinental Champion and his wingman losing every week, but never defending their titles? Never defending anything. Bullshit at least got to defend the guitar at this point as any times they've lost. They just come out there to get the crowd hype and then they take pins. It's like, it's reminiscent of when Shayna and Nia Jax were tag team champions. They were just out there losing every single week.
Like literally for this episode of SmackDown, if I was great in this episode, I would have gave this a C-. I just didn't care. It was like, this is what you gave me? This is ridiculous. I just didn't care. Marcus, what about yourself?
No, I was not really interested. Even the Battle Royal seemed weak. There were no high spots. But the main thing about the Battle Royal, there were no stars in this Battle Royal. They was just mid-card and below. And I realized that was the SmackDown roster. And I'm going like, man, they really need to do something about this. Because it just seemed like the only people who had potential of winning was Jeff Hardy and maybe Sheamus, who they may throw in there. But that was it. Other than that, I didn't think Ricochet, the Viking Raiders, or Drew Gulak had a chance. Or Shanky.
Hey, Ricochet was in the finals until shit started going down. Manny, so do you agree SmackDown struck out this week?
SmackDown, yeah. It wasn't that good. It was an average show, but I feel like because of Black Friday with everyone out purchasing shit they don't need, I'm guessing they decided to phone it in.
Well, let's talk about something that took place before Thanksgiving happened, and that's NXT. And I have a couple of questions for you guys because I'm trying to understand something. The Grayson Waller effect. He started off NXT. Then he proceeded to have a match that he lost to Ciampa. I really don't like Grayson Waller. I don't know why. My question is my dislike towards Grayson Waller because he's doing a great job at being a heel, or is he just an unlikable twit? Manny, I go to you first.
Twit?
I think it's more unlikable because he's not really doing... I wouldn't say he's doing great heel work yet because realistically all he did was cut off the opening intro.
I was offended.
Opening intro.
He was like, hold on.
He's running down all the past, and I'm just like, fuck you, man. don't ruin my enjoyment from the past and nostalgia. But yeah, I think he's just unlikable at this moment because there's nothing really to him. Because he just went from being face to not really having a proper heel turn to just having a heelish promo. And
I feel like it's the most natural heel turn when you just realize, I don't like this guy.
Yeah, I just don't like him.
But like LA Knight is now supposed to be a face in this kind of situation as well. It was just a double turn, and it was like, why? It was unneeded. But Eric, I feel like your hate is the same reason I dislike that man. And I refuse to say his name because I can't remember it at this moment in time. But Marcus knows who I hate, and I hate him, and I hate his guts, and I hope that all the bad things happen in his life.
Mark, can you tell me who Manny wants to step on his white couch with his muddy boots on? Who does Manny hate like that?
Hold on, I just want to go to Manny and be like, who hurt you, man? I don't know. I don't even know who this is. I'm trying to think. Just describe the man to me and maybe I can help you.
There you go, Tony D'Angelo.
Forget about it. Hate him.
Hey, but you know what? TD, I don't hate TD. It's something about TD that I kind of get it.
You only like him because he looks like a baby Rusev. That's all you like him.
I like to say he looked like a grown-up Santino.
Or maybe Cesaro out of shape with more personality. That's what I kind of see.
That's a lot of work to get there, though. Yeah, mine was just he got. But
Marcus, Grayson Waller, how do you feel about him? Is he a successful heel or he's just unlikable?
I'm telling you this right now. I believe he is on the pace to be a successful heel because I don't know if you know this, but his gimmick is the Miz. He's the Miz. He's the original Miz who used to host SmackDown and go hoorah. That's pretty much his gimmick. And he's out there saying what the Miz was supposed to be saying when he was originally joining, but he was a face back then. And just said, I'm in this for the money. I'm in this to get on reality shows. I'm not in this here to have wrestling matches. I'm in here to blow up on social media. And I kind of like that character that he is portraying right now. Basically, he's the Miz. Now, if he were to get caught up once NXT get canceled and align himself with the Miz and say, I want to be your apprentice, which will never happen probably, I will 100% see that happening.
But I thought he actually had a solid match with Ciampa, and I was like, I just still don't like this guy. I'm glad he lost.
You didn't like the people's elbow he did with the crossover?
It was called a people arm layover because he didn't hold the elbow for him when he dropped it. It pissed me off, man.
He jumped up. He was supposed to. He didn't give you what you want. He was making fun of The Rock in the Rock week. That was the most rockish thing we got from WWE this week other than the Golden Egg.
Well, $7 million for that Golden Egg. Then moving on to something else that took place on NXT that I was more happy about for the pettiness factor of it is we had Cameron Grimes. He came out there. He cut a promo. And he talked about how his hair and his disheveled look was a reminder of where he came from because he never wanted to forget where he came from. But what Duke did to him last week, he made him angry. And so then we go to the back, and Duke is getting, getting a fresh cut from Maestro's in the back, like a fresh thing. And right then and there, I knew what was going down. I knew we were getting a hair versus hair match. And at this point, I said WWE is going to do it right as compared to what happened 3 weeks ago, and we still ain't seen Jack Evans without his goddamn hair. And I ain't never forgetting him for that.
Marcus, that's the point of my hair versus hair match. The payoff that they're bald, that you get to see it. That's like going mask versus mask, and then you never see the dude face. Like, oh, that's what we went for? Nothing happened.
Both of these Caucasian males are putting a lot on the line, and I don't think either one of them will look right with no hair. Marcus, I'm concerned about this match, but I better get a payoff. Who you got? Duke Hudson or Cameron Grimes?
Let me tell you something. They added stakes to this feud right here. And I'm glad they're done with all the poker shit. This looked like serious hate as a man is carrying around another man's hair at a barbershop, telling people on camera that I got your hair. I got your hair. Like this is some expensive Indian hair that he done got from a black woman. I got your hair that you say is real.
I think it was carried in the Ziploc bag as well.
Yes, keeping that shit fresh. Keeping it fresh. Not letting any oxygen touch it. That shit is precious to him. I thought he was one step closer from snipping the hair in the middle of his chair. Oh, but I enjoyed this. The Cameron Grimes new look. I ended up in some comments. Some guy was like, I can't believe that WWE just want to change everybody. And they cut Cameron Grimes' hair and they trimmed his beard. They just like to ruin people. And I was like, he got a haircut. This isn't the worst case scenario. It's not like he's bald here. Like, he looked like Adam Cole to me. That's pretty much it. Without a shirt. He looked like Adam Cole. Maybe a better in shape version of Adam Cole. That's what he looked like. And Duke finally showed that he's an asshole personality. And I was like, Duke, show me something right there in that chair when he was getting his line up.
Marcus, the question was, who you got?
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, you gave us everything, but you went around the block. Who you got?
I
got Cameron Grimes winning because I can see Duke Hudson losing his hair and maybe he can grow his back.
No, I want Cameron Grimes to lose because I'm intrigued what's underneath.
What?
I want hair. When he says hair versus hair, I want the beard gone, want the hair gone, the chest hair gone. He needs to be smooth.
Yeah, that's me.
No, but I think Manny's right.
Manny wants to skin a cat.
Actually, because Duke's hair, like, true, he had just got it did from that hair. That was some prestigious hair. And Brandon and Vinks, I'm gonna go back to his old day. Brandon Vinks' nose is too long to be bald headed. He's gonna look really weird being completely bald headed.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this about the Brandon Vink thing about him being bald headed and stuff. We rarely see this man wrestle. Maybe that isn't his hair. Maybe he's wearing a piece this whole time. Because that hair does look kind of immaculate. I think it got to go.
Let me tell you, though. that actually got me extremely excited for War Games, and that tells me how of a fickle wrestling fan I am. That an old school hair versus hair match will get me like, you know what? I got to see War Games.
Well, Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy to get you excited, or Jack Evans or whatever and Orange Cassidy?
No, I can't stand Orange Cassidy, and we'll talk about that later. So next thing that they were established for War Games is that Imperium, dude was wearing the tightest sweater ever. What's his name? The German guy. Bartel. That he was so his shit was so tight, his nipples was on point, was cutting the promo to all the tag teams that were challenging for their title. And I asked the question, where was MSK? Are they still in training? Because Imperium implored them, like, hey, you guys figure out who's gonna fight us, but we'll defend our championship at War Games. Manny, who do you want to see Imperium defend their title against?
I don't even care at this point. Imperium have been so little in this, and I don't like Von Wagner. He's got a weird head. And me and Marcus already established on the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, if we had a shrink ray, we would go skiing down his forehead and shoot off his nose.
I forgot how he said that. I was like, shrink ray. Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah. We would literally shrink ourselves and go skiing off his face.
I think the good news about Von Wagner, I don't think he's long for the world of NXT anymore, because I'm confident he will be on Smackdown next week, because he had that unnecessary appearance a week ago where he was the bodyguard for Adam Pearce and nothing came of it. And now, we're in this stupid feud. Marcus, are you over Imperium?
No, I think that Imperium is fine where they're at. MSK is on the verge of going to jail because they keep putting themselves in these situations with them drugs. I don't understand why. They are going to airports. They're driving weird speed limits, getting pulled over. They are going to go to jail eventually, and they're tempting fate. They're tempting fate. And Wesley may get shot out there in them streets. In the backwoods they seem to be traveling. Just be careful.
You say MSK is tempting trying to go to jail. No, that's the grizzled young veterans, man. I still can't get over when they stole that person's food. I just can't.
That might be the low point of their career. But they're on their way out. I feel like they're on their way out.
Speaking of someone on their way out, would you make of Johnny Gargano signing a 1-week extension because his contract is up on the 3rd?
Apparently, he has never had a War Games match, and so this will be his first War Games match, and it's...
I think they've thrown the bag at him, though. They've thrown the bag at him, but he hasn't accepted the contract.
I feel like winter is coming. That's when he's making his debut. Tony and him already talked about it. Kyle O'Reilly is already going. They got them all.
I can tell you that, honestly, of all the people that I would love to see stay in NXT, and that is Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano is the heart and soul of NXT. Him and Ciampa did, like, Adam Cole leaving really didn't mean anything to me, like, because you knew he was going. But Johnny, I don't want to see Johnny go to AEW and just become another guy. I just don't like that. It's like, I don't want him to get the Tony Nese treatment. Like, I don't need that. Like, it's, I don't know.
So
he got kids to take care of.
Kid.
And a dog. A dog that's at the head of the table.
He would just become another guy. I mean, he would just fall in the same category as your Jay Lethals, your Sammy Guevara's, who he's probably going to lose to in one of these open challenges. It just seems like he'd just be a guy. Like, he'll fall into the line like Adam Cole. At least Adam Cole at the current moment is getting time to do stuff, allegedly. But, that's where everybody's going.
I guess you can argue, Manny, isn't Johnny Gargano already just another guy in WWE, though? Like right now under NXT?
No, I think he's just another guy now in 2.0. I feel like that black and the War Games match is the close of the Black and Gold. I think that's the closing of a chapter of Black and Gold. They can
resurrect it. They can
don't think they can.
Triple H can be like, go and win, save the brand, save the brand. Cool. And all they would do is change the ring to black and gold, and people be like, oh, thank God, I'm glad it's back. I go, what? Same shit. Go ahead.
I actually think that could pop the ratings if you had like the war of the old black and gold, which would be kind of like the I know we played it like the
That's where we're at.
NWO.
Heck, we're already
like,
there.
I know. I mean, that's the War Games, but if it was afterwards, like even after War Games, because I just need someone to whip Grayson Waller's ass. That's all I need. That's who I'm fighting. If we going in for the black and gold brand, I'm fighting Grayson Waller. Guys, I got him. Manny, who you got? Who you taking out from 2.0?
Yeah, murdering. Oh, is that too strong? Tony D'Angelo is getting got.
Okay, so I got Grayson Waller. Manny got Tony D'Angelo. Marcus, who you taking out?
But
Or are you team 2.0? Are you 2.0, Marcus?
Well, you know, I gotta hang around the young kids and stay. I gotta stay hip with the streets. So I'm hanging out with my brown breakers and people who I know who have a future. So I went 2.0.
I should have known you because a trick.
So you're rolling with that kid that can't put bass in his voice.
Are you talking about Mello?
No, he's talking about Braun Breaker.
I'm talking about Mello.
No, Mello. It's Mello. Yeah, I'm rolling with Mello and Trick.
Damn, Marcus, I didn't think my own brother would be 2.0. I thought you loved black and gold.
I don't think I can trust a man that can the way Trick stomps out people because it just look weird. It looked like he was putting out fire.
So yeah, pretty much that's War Games. WWE was pretty shit this week. Let's be honest, and AEW wasn't much better. AEW was a 1-segment show, and then after that 1 segment, everything else went downhill from there. Downhill.
Wait, you're not gonna bring up that Toxic Attraction added Kaylee Ray, who was just breaking shit in the back for no reason?
Toxic Attraction added.
Not Toxic Attraction, but the
Cora Jade and them.
So, yeah, Raquel and them added Kaylee Ray, or she added herself while she was just breaking shit in the back.
Now,
and she got offended that somebody was like, "Why are you breaking shit?" Oh, offended that you crossed my path. I'm like, "Why are you offended?"
Thank you for bringing it. I know you guys are gonna question me, but I do like Cora Jade for some reason on NXT 2.0. I don't know what it is about her. She reminds me of I guess a female version of Darby Allin, probably without allegations. I don't know. The little skateboard. I mean, like she went out there to go find him a new teammate. That's what she was trying to do. Told them bitches figure it out.
But I mean, she did take leadership as creepy when Zoe Stark was there. And they're like, "What are we hanging on to her for?" Because EO can't recruit nobody. Raquel clearly isn't trying. Clearly wasn't trying.
And Zoe is Zoe. She hurt.
No, Zoe is the oldest young woman alive.
She's already an old woman walking around with a cane.
So we're gonna talk about old women. We might as well talk about CM Punk. CM Punk made his entrance.
An old woman.
I did call him old woman. What did I say? CM Punk made his entrance because we were about to get his match with QT Marshall. But before that could take place, he was interrupted by MJF. And I would say this was probably some of the most interesting television that AEW has produced in a long time that appealed to me. I know everybody else is probably like, "Oh, AEW is the best," but no, this was because it was a story. MJF came out and he told CM Punk, "I was disrespected because you didn't shake my hand. And you also, when you talked about all the people that you wanted to wrestle, you didn't say my name." Marcus, did MJF have a point? Should he have felt disrespected by Phil?
100%, because Phil was out there to disrespect you intentionally. You know when people go a long way out there just to disrespect you intentionally. That you knew of all the names you said, my name should have been up there. That you were just talking about your Darbys and your Jungle Boys and your Hangman Page. You knew whose name was next. You knew the next name of your tongue. And you skipped me and you went to like Christian or something. How dare you? That is disrespectful. Spit in your face, Mr. Punk.
Manny, I come to you because this is I would say the most legitimate feud that they got going on, because you can see where MJF will feel disrespected, because what Punk did the week prior where he just walked out there and he did extend his hand and Punk walked back out. I was like, why did your old ass come out to the ring? What did you take of MJF being disrespected?
I enjoyed it. I think it's the most meaningful thing CM Punk has done since he's been there. Like, if you go by MJF's promo of Punk being very robotic and going out of, "I'm just happy to be here in Insert Town."
Yeah, because
it's all true.
Because I felt MJF was speaking for people like you and I and Marcus, who have been extremely critical of what AEW has done as of late. He asked CM Punk, "Is the pipe bomb your best moment, because he doesn't need to do pipe bombs because he drops nukes. And I was thinking to myself when he asked that question, I was like, in actuality, the pipe bomb is arguably CM Punk's greatest moment. I can't think of anything else. Maybe when he blew the kiss, but Manny, is the pipe bomb the best thing that he had? I went to Manny first, Marcus, because I saw how eager you were.
I think people do underestimate what Punk actually did in professional wrestling after that pipe bomb. But if you look at the history of it, you're putting that on top. You're not gonna look at all the other promos he may have had, like how disrespectful he was to the Undertaker with that urn going into their match at WrestleMania. But like all that stuff. But like if you go back to the Punk history, the only thing he did prior to that in WWE was nothing. He accomplished nothing really. He may have won the World Heavyweight titles going up to that, but he accomplished nothing till that pipe bomb with John Cena.
So, Marcus, now before you speak, Punk responded to the whole pipe bomb comment. He says he thought MJF stand for my jealous fan. He called Punk.
I don't get to go back to this conversation.
Punk called him a less famous Miz, which I thought that was the most ruthless comment that Punk has said since he's been in AEW. And, I felt the Miz should be respected for what he's accomplished in WWE. What did you feel about Punk's retort to MJF?
Why don't I get to comment on what Punk's greatest moment was?
If you want to comment, go ahead, Marcus.
You asked me this was like, the Miz. Oh, it was a great comment. But how come I can't say what Punk's greatest moment was? He peaked in straight edge society and no one can tell me different. He peaked in when he was singing happy birthday to Aaliyah Mysterio on TV, being disrespectful and being some self-righteous Jesus. That was me. That was my favorite version of Punk. He peaked when he started wearing a lucha mask after the hair versus hair match. That was my favorite version of Punk, by the way. Post-pipe bomb stuff was fine and everything and, all that. However, calling someone the Miz in the AEW universe is probably the most disrespectful thing you can do to those people. And it prompted a Miz chant from the crowd, which I was never expect, not even on an AEW show, not even on a WWE show, would you get a Miz chant. But, yeah, I thought it was really good. It was a good back and forth of shots and legit shots. These were legit shots that I would say to CM Punk, or Punk would say or that MJF would say, and then Punk would say it to a real argument.
Yes, because at that point, after he called him a less famous Miz, MJF said, "You're just robotic, pucker up, Punk." And, technically, PG Punk should just preach hustle, loyalty, and respect. At that point, I said, how dare you invoke the name of the Lord and Savior of the ruthless aggression generation, John Cena, who, as Marcus and I had a discussion, had the best 2021 post-COVID than anybody because of all the shit that was out in theaters.
All his movies releasing and TV shows, and he was everywhere. Great 2021.
Mark, is it really
that man benefited from the pandemic?
Is it really John Cena? Is it really being disrespectful being called the "you can't see me" man, Marcus?
Yeah, well, you can't see that man. And you don't want to promote John Cena chant, "Let's go Cena sucks" chant in the AEW because people are just waiting to do that anyway. People want to do that anyway, and it would go on all night probably there.
And then he said that Punk was second best, that he couldn't get past John Cena or Triple H, and he unfortunately knows that MJF is better than him. At this point, Punk had enough because MJF pulled out the point card because we all know he could never get past John Cena. He couldn't get past Triple H. Hell, he couldn't get past Randy Orton either.
Or Batista.
So Punk had enough. So he had to go for the jugular. He went for the jugular, MJF. He said, you know what? You talk too much and you can't back up shit. This first time CM Punk said shit because he was upset.
He officially joined AEW
without his backup. And because of that, that's why he didn't care about you. He decided he wanted to destroy the heart and soul of AEW. And this is the point where I got very confused about the promo because he admitted that he was trying to take out the heart and soul of AEW. So was he trying to destroy the company?
No, he said take on. He didn't say take out, take on.
Okay, take on. I think take out.
I'm trying to kill these motherfuckers.
How are you making these notes, Eric? How are you making these notes if you're not hearing the thing properly?
Manny, I was taking it out with my own biases. I was being like a National Enquirer, like a dirt sheet, adding stuff that didn't happen. So he wanted to take on the heart and soul of AEW, and that's why he went after Darby Allin. And MJF doesn't realize that he was replaced by Britt Baker.
Oh, shit.
Let me just tell you, I ate it up, but the AEW fans was eating this up even more. This was such a great segment. And then he decided to put the last, let me call it a pipe bomb. He says the only way MJF can be the number one star in this company is if Tony Khan had a daughter. And I said it was no reason to take that shot at Triple H, but God damn it, it felt right at that moment.
He had a daughter and married her. You got to complete that sentence. It doesn't make sense. If Tony Khan had a daughter, okay, what happens then? He macho mans her. That's what happens.
The reason why I enjoyed this segment, and I think any segment in professional wrestling that works well, is when you have promos that are always that has a little bit of bits of truth incorporated in them. It makes it feel more authentic. It puts you more into the environment that you're really watching two guys who don't respect or like each other. And that's what I liked about this segment. And I would say AEW won the week just for this segment. Everything else they did afterwards sucked, but this was a great segment. Marcus, I'll go to you first.
Oh, man, I ate this up. This was like leftovers after Thanksgiving. I kept eating it. Until it's no more. Now I'm sad that I'll never get anything like this again because they really built up this segment. And I think it really helped last week that they didn't have this segment, that they didn't talk it out, that this week they talked it out a little bit. It probably could have went shorter because it was about like 25 minutes, but I was engaged all around it. Like, yes, tell him this. Talk about the Rosie O'Donnell show. Tell him you got a picture of him on your wall. Tell him he ain't shit. Tell him he's the Miz. Tell him he can't fight in the UFC. Yes, go after all of it. All of it. And they put all their business out there here. All their business in the open. And now it leads to them fighting. I'm assuming the next AEW pay-per-view, where I don't know who they're going to have win that match at this point.
Manny, what about yourself?
I loved the promo. I thought I ate it up as much as you guys did. The only thing I didn't like was MJF's delivery of the promo. I liked everything that was said, and I think it's just the way MJF talks. But the delivery, I didn't really get it. I don't like it. I know he's probably playing off as I'm a petulant child, but it felt like a boy versus a man. Whereas normally when you hear WWE promos, you hear a bit more bass in someone's voice or something like that. Because MJF felt like he was trying too hard and he just came off as like a small boy going off against a man, an experienced man on the mic.
So in the chat room, Daniel Price says, so WWE does 20-minute promos, marks lose their minds. AEW does it while talking about WWE rent fee in their head and people love it. Yeah, okay. I mean, the thing about it, Daniel, I will address it. I hate AEW, but this is probably one of the more entertaining things that they did because they actually did a promo that made sense. We actually have a meaningful feud in AEW. Quite frankly, what happened afterwards didn't need to happen. I wish they would have stopped at the promo. I did not need to see CM Punk struggle to defeat QT Marshall. No one needed that in their life. Like you can't cut this fire ass promo, and the next thing you know, you're struggling with QT Marshall, who arguably is not even close to the level that MJF is at.
Yeah, and so the fact is, the whole thing with the whole segment with the QT Marshall thing, I did feel like the segment did go long. Like it did, like I didn't need MJF, like Manny said, some of his delivery, like the robot thing, I felt like was just weird. And I would just help him just to say straightforward stuff. And I agree with you, Eric, that they did kind of negate this promo and justify everything MJF said. CM Punk out there having a hard time struggling each week, fighting people like Danny Garcia, and this week QT Marshall is struggling with it. It gives all that validity to MJF. I think that the way JR set up this match, it was like CM Punk the person that faces CM Punk right now should really be worried because he's fired up and he's going to take him out. Instead, him and QT Marshall goes to the limit, which really bugged me.
All right, Manny. What about you?
What was the question?
Yeah, there was no question.
I thought Marcus was just coming off of what I said.
Oh, okay. And then I guess Chris asked the question, why do you watch AEW? Because I hope it can get better. I hope they can produce a show that entertains me. And because we do this show. But like wrestling as a whole, it's not where it once was. And I think it's because as you get older, you grow up and things don't hit the same way. After that, we got Christian Cage in the back with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Oh!
And Christian Cage is talking about riding the momentum train that they're on. That's going to lead Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy to winning the tag team championship because they are the #1 rated team because of the momentum that Christian Cage created. Marcus, did you really need this?
No, and again, whenever I see Christian with these guys, I wonder multiple things. Why is he a dinosaur? Number one. 2, why is Christian hanging out with the dinosaur? And 3, shouldn't Jungle Boy, didn't we get to a next level of Jungle Boy where he hit somebody in the face with a chair? I feel like that was a new era of Jungle Boy we were about to get. Instead, he's still just background noise, ready to make the save for the next person getting attacked in a group jumping. And we've had this match, I feel like several times, maybe not only in these 6 men, and I just don't feel like they're going to win and beat the Lucha Bros. And it's just going to be another loss. Get rid of the dinosaur. Move Christian away from Jungle Boy unless they're going to feud him with Jungle Boy.
Mark, you knew Jungle Boy lost his powers when he shaved that little bit of scruff that he was trying to grow.
I thought he was going to be a man. I thought he was going to be a man for a minute. He looked like he was going to be a man at the full gear.
It seems like they're trying to reset the Jurassic Express again. And they're doing it with Christian Cage. Does this help, like, anybody? Because I don't know if Christian brings anything to that table.
No, Christian's going backwards in his career. If he thought he'd come into AEW to progress his career, he's not. He's back in. He's gone backwards into his TNA days.
Man, he came there to outwork everybody. Remember, Christian Cage is there to outwork everybody, and he looks for whatever he's looking for.
He's looking for his soul.
Where Edge is coming back overall, and he's doing these main event feuds and cutting these fire promos and, sporting Jordans and having these feuds. Christian is going the opposite end of that, and he's going full Janetti at the bottom of the card with this. I feel like they can do so much more with Christian. I feel like if you have him, he's an amazing talker. Well, I won't go amazing. He's pretty good talking now. And I feel like he can tell a story in any other feud, but they have him in this jungle. I don't even know what they call it anymore. The Dinosaurs Express, the Jurassic Express storyline, and I feel like he's just there being a manager or something else where he can do something more meaningful. When he first came there, he beat Kenny Omega, which nobody has done. And now he's just in there on the card. He was the Impact champion. Now he's just kind of there. And I was like, what a waste. If this was the WWE, which I don't like doing, but compare, people will have their panties in a bunch, talk about why don't they do more with Christian. He would be Jeff Hardy at this current moment.
Marcus, it's funny hearing you talk about Luchasaurus, man, and maybe you can remind me, wasn't he the biggest fan of Luchasaurus when AEW debuted?
I know! And he needs to stop being a damn dinosaur! Be Lucha Man, damn it! Be a Lucha Man!
Lucha Man.
Lucha Man. So, Benny, have you ever tried to take your lunch break and then you have some annoying coworkers come and bother you and then someone throws hot coffee in your face? Because that's what Eddie Kingston had to deal with 2.0 and Daniel Garcia.
Eric, the biggest tragedy of this segment was that cake. It fell to the ground and the fat man inside me got upset. But I'm telling you, I'm surprised Eddie Kingston didn't shoot them people. Like, these three should be dead.
He wanted what
these
his
three
cake.
should be dead. You throw coffee on this man, these three should be dead.
Lucky it was lukewarm coffee. Lucky he liked his coffee lukewarm. Otherwise, there would be some violence. But all he wanted was his cake. He didn't want any violence, and it looked delicious. I wanted to eat some cake with him and just sit and cater. And last week, I think we had the question, who has the better catering, AEW or WWE? Clearly, AEW has the better catering because that cake looked delicious. It looked delicious. By the way, the chat seems to be really going.
Oh, yeah, man. Apparently.
There's so much hostility going on in the chat.
That's what Punk and MJF, they brought out the hostility in
there. Bring out some of these comments, Eric, and maybe we can chime in.
All right, so we'll go with Chris P. He said, by the way, the whole point of the story is that Punk hasn't wrestled for 7 years, and he's rusty, and he's not sure if he can still hang with everyone. That's why he's struggling against these guys.
I disagree. I disagree with that because everybody struggles with everybody in AEW. There isn't no dominance. The last time we got a squash match was when Wardlow ran through Wood Unit, which was good. I think they need to have more matches where some of their top level guys run through people. Or if he wants to, he can do what Bryan Danielson did, and that's kick people's face in like Evil Uno or something. He needs a dominant win. He needs to stop struggling with people. Otherwise, it's like watching Michael Jordan with the Wizards. That's what I love how
Marcus says. Read some of the comments in the chat, and he goes on a rant.
You overpowered. You need to
I'm sorry. I shut the fuck up.
All right. Daniel Price said, when only reason Omega got anywhere is because of Meltzer's ridiculous star scale and Okada straight up. I would agree with that one.
I agree.
He says, you bought that narrative, did you, Chris? Okay, so he doesn't agree that Punk is being rusty. Then El Luchador says Daniel is thriving on that hate. I mean, I understand. I appreciate the hate. It happens. And Daniel also said, if WWE has such good catering, people would have kissed butt way harder to stay there doing nothing. That is also true.
People do be hanging, though. Those JTGs in the world or Dana Brooks be hanging on by threads to stay in this catering. They ain't actually doing nothing.
Then we get the name calling Dork Boy. I'm sorry you're so sensitive that you call blunt honesty hate. Let me book you a reservation for a safe space, kiddo. Okay.
Oh.
Then Elvis Dirk says, does he even watch wrestling? Yeah, it's a lot of shit going on. But since it's funny,
wait, what was that last sentence?
It's funny that you guys brought up hate because on the next match on Dynamite, you had the Gun Club against Bear Country, who was actually 10-3. They was on some momentum, and I had told Marcus when I was watching this match,
the racist club.
They were the racist club, and they still haven't told me why they turned on the Big Show. And then on top of that, I thought Bear Country had a chance because they were 10-3. They were 10-3, but of course they didn't.
AEW Dark don't count. I don't want to see their record from AEW Dark. The only time it matters is Dynamite. This is like showing me some minor league baseball team had a good record, and then they come up to the major leagues and they get beat. I don't care. They're losers, they're bums, and they get their ass whoops. They're not featured on the show.
Now
There's a reason it's called AEW Dark. When you're in a club and it's about to close, so the lights come on, and then you see who you've been dancing with for the last 2 hours, and you're like,
Bear Country! Bear Country! I thought you were just thick! I didn't know you were hairy!
Oh my God.
Manny, I'm going to ask a question that I probably should ask Marcus, but I'm going to ask you this question. How about that dive?
Woo!
I mean, I don't appreciate dives nearly as much as this man, so I feel like you need to ask that man that dive.
That dive was amazing. I want to go with all that went into this. The timing of it all, because Darby had to start running before that dude got there and couldn't stop no matter what. So he had to be on his mark at the exact time, and he showed up at the exact moment. And he took his head off. And Billy Gunn, instead of yelling in the ring randomly, need to go check on his son, because this is the second best thing that happened on wrestling this week. Was this dive attack for Darby Allin, and Darby got them dives. He has impact in his dives, not like 90% of the rest of this roster and everybody else in WWE or whoever dives who have. I'm just gonna go and graze you. Whether it's a Charlotte moonsault or it's Riho jumping, whatever, she never lands it. Or if it's Riho diving onto Britt Baker and people. That's 60 pounds of people jumping on you. Just throw that shit away.
I mean, it was a good dive. They took his ass out, and then when the comments resurfaced, I was like, well, that's what you get, It's two people going against other things. So, Marcus, maybe you can explain this to me, Marcus. Can you explain to me the betrayal of a black man on another black man, Marcus? Because Dante Martin agreed to go to this meeting with Taz and Team Taz, and Leo Rush was there. He was confident that it wasn't gonna go down, but then Dante Martin signed the contract, Mark, and left with Team Taz. Can you explain this what the fuck moment to me, Marcus?
I don't know what Team Taz could have put in that contract to offer him, but apparently, Eric, it was very lucrative and he can't miss. Well, at one point, I felt Leo Rush was trying to shice out Dante Martin. He was pulling the Matt. He was on his Matt Hardy shit, big money match shit. So maybe Dante was like, "Nah, man, I'm not with this." And you try to get 25% of what I earned, or whatever the hell is in this contract. And Team Taz wasn't offering anything. He was offering him something more. He was offering him a family, Eric.
He was.
I don't know what the fuck when he walked over that table. I was like, oh, so the Manny, plot thickens. I thought he was faking him.
The question I have for you, Manny, is that last week Team Taz came out and they sold what they did for, I guess, Powerhouse Hobbs. What about that sales pitch do you think got Dante Martin to say, I'm going to put my name on this dotted line and be part of Team Taz?
They must have promised him the world, Eric. They must have promised him the world. More like, we'll get you off AEW Light Skin and we'll put you on the main show. We'll put you on the main show.
No more Rampage for you.
Dark. None of this AEW Light Skin that me and Marcus made up. Mostly Marcus, not me.
But he's like, hey, along with it. I didn't do it. I did not. I don't want to be canceled. Although Manny was labeled a Spanish dude by one guy, so no one knows what Manny nationality. So he could be a light skinned brother.
Has Team Taz able to deliver
Dante Martin though? Just let you know.
I am.
Yep. He's showing tats.
I've got bright light shining on me.
I'm showing tats and hair to show my darkness. But Team Taz can't deliver on any of that. Eric Hobbs still wrestles on dark. Brian Cage went AWOL and is missing and maybe leaving the company. Hook is Hook. And Ricky Starks has a title that isn't recognized by anybody.
I was gonna say Ricky Starks has a fake title that they took from what was his name? Fake Wolverine dude.
Brian Cage. I just brought his name up.
Where is
Brian
he?
Cage. His wife spoke out, and so Tony was like, "We don't do that here."
I love that in the chat, everybody is measuring their dick on how much wrestling they watch. So many years, who cares?
Yeah, because at that point, that's when my dick is small because I don't watch that much wrestling to go from there. But anyway,
it don't matter though. Just like what you like.
Manny, my last question for you when it comes to this episode of Dynamite, and when I was watching it, it just came to my head because it was in a stupid qualifying match for the TBS Women's Championship. Is Jamie Hayter the Wish version of Toni Storm? Because there's nothing about Jamie Hayter that's any good.
Close. Not even close. She is the Chinese. No, wait. Wish is
Chinese
rip-offs, aren't they? Wish.com is the Chinese rip-offs of normal products.
Yes.
I don't think she's counterfeit Toni Storm because Toni Storm is capable in the ring. Even though the AEW fans ate it up and they were back and forth, Hater, Thunder.
They're back and forth on anything. Even if it's bad, it's still back and forth.
I don't think this was good. I think they went too early with the Shida versus Serena Deeb match in this tournament by making them not have buys in this match. So like it worries me the rest because it's just going to be Soho versus Thunder Rosa, I'm guessing, in the final.
Yeah.
So you think that Nyla Rose is not going to win?
No.
So and
you don't have you got Jay Cargill going out.
Yeah, so
yeah.
You have
We're
Cargill
in decontemplation.
Yeah, you have Cargill being eliminated. Manny's really thinking hard right here. Or do you remember the brackets?
I don't remember the bracket.
We keep bringing up new names, and Manny go, "You're right, they still in it."
Because
I'm kind of distracted by all the hate going on the side.
So, if I remember correctly, Jay Cargill.
Eric was just hate on the plate. I mean, we have it right here.
Jay Cargill is facing Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa, and then Nyla Rose is going to probably face either Statlander or Ruby Soho.
Yeah, I don't think Nyla Rose is going to get a second title. So it's just a case of do you push Thunder Rosa or do you push Ruby Soho, your new talent? Because they're not putting that belt on. They're not putting that belt on Jade. Jade's not ready for a title.
I got Jade going to the finals, being the person that either I don't have the bracket in front of me, that either Ruby Soho or Thunder Rosa has to beat.
It's a very complicated situation because
what I do like about their bracket is that anything is possible. I may not like 90% of these matches, but anything is possible, and you do not know who the winner's going to be. That's pretty good. That's pretty good on their part. It's a lot better than the Queen's Crown, where you didn't know who the women's going to be, but they only had 2-minute matches.
Marcus, I get what you're saying, but as the host title, as was brought up in the chat room by Dave Price, because that's what the TBS title is, because it says hoes on there. I don't think any of those people outside of Thunder Rosa, I don't want them to have the championship, because I felt that Thunder Rosa should have been fighting Britt Baker a long time ago. Ruby Soho is the WWE releasee that is getting a lot of popularity, but I also understand why WWE say, you know what, I can't make no money with this person. Nyla Rose has had too many opportunities, and Jade Cargill is not ready, but she could be the first African American champion in AEW.
Nope. Scorpio Sky had that for 3 weeks with the tag team titles.
You're right.
I know it's like 3 months, but
I personally would want Statlander to win it because she's been there since day one of AEW.
And Manny, you've been a Statlander fan for a long time. My issue with Statlander is that once she started hanging out with the best friends, I really started to dislike her.
It kind of sounds, I kind of went that route too.
No,
once I started with Wheeler Yuta, those dorks.
When Wheeler Yuta came on the scene, I was like, no, can't take this anymore.
You're not replacing Trent.
No, because I think for you guys, Wheeler Yuta kind of makes Chuck Taylor even passable to like. That's the worst part about it, because I don't know why you guys hate Wheeler Yuta the way that you do.
I don't hate. He got no personality. He's just a guy. He seems like Walt Liquor Mansoor.
But the thing about it,
that's right.
On Rampage, he fought Bobby Fish, who was just pretty much the opposite version of just older of Wheeler Yuta. No personality.
Bobby Fish has personality. I wouldn't take that. Bobby Fish is like a younger version of Christopher Daniels by 7 years.
Bobby Fish, only personality he has is what Matt Riddle did when he asked the question, how many fish can Bobby Fish fry? Bobby Fish could fry fish. That's the only...
he doesn't lure this up.
That don't do it.
Just wait a Red Dragon form again, all right? Just wait a Red Dragon form again. You don't need personality when you're in a bomb-ass tag team like Red Dragon. They're on their way back.
Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, just another guy, defeated Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy. How would you explain the fall from grace of Orange Cassidy?
Rampage? No.
We're on Rampage, man.
Wait, we're on Rampage?
Yeah.
When did we get to Rampage?
I just segued into Rampage right there.
What happened at that? Oh, I guess we're going to ignore the Cody situation.
Marcus, why?
That's your boy. That's your boy.
Not
That's
right
your
now,
boy.
Marcus.
He throwing his weight belt in the crowd. He getting it thrown back. He getting treated worse than John Cena. Because at least John Cena, I'm going to say, even though they threw John Cena's shirt back all those times, there was a little bit of love in there. It was the happiness of doing it. Cody's was a hate throw back to the point where it hit the referee, Aubrey Edwards, who then had Andrade throw it under the ring, and then they got it back, and Cody just put his belt back on. It was outrageous.
Hold up, Marcus. Dale Price with the Bobby Fish is like the extra you have stand in the background in some film about magicians in the early 1900s in vaudeville. I agree.
And he'd probably be chewing tobacco.
Yeah, it's just like, he can even be a standing on Peaky Blinders, a show I've never seen. It's like I don't know
I feel like that's right down your alley.
No, I know it is, Manny.
Shit.
I know it is.
But where I agree, I feel like Bobby Fish has more personality than whoever else we compare him to. I think William Yuta. I'm just saying.
So
William Yuta comes out like this.
I intentionally left out talking about Cody, and Marcus just couldn't let it go.
You can't let no shit like that go. That was sad. That was sad. The man put the belt back on. The man put the belt back on. It don't get sadder than that. Then, fine, if y'all don't want my belt, fine, take it. Fuck y'all. It was very sad because he did not see that coming. At all. He never felt that.
But now next week on Dynamite, you have to deal with a Cody match in front of his home crowd in Atlanta and a one-on-one match that I don't want either. Like, it just like Pac didn't want a team with Cody. The Lucha Brothers didn't want a team. Like, I don't need these multiple man tags. I just don't need it in my life. I don't. It's just like I didn't need Rio versus Britt Baker again. But once they told me that Rio has always defeated Britt Baker, I was like, well, I know what's gonna happen with this match. And then they said it was non-title. I mean, do you want to see Rio versus Britt Baker again, Marcus?
Look at that. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the feuds going on. That I would have set up a match between Elizabeth and Daniel Price with special guest.
It looks like a triple threat. It looks like a triple threat match.
And it's random hate. I don't even understand what's going on. I know people at the school. Who cares? Just watch the show. We're all viewers at this point. Damn, we're all on the couch. What was your question?
I don't know, because you got me reading the chat. I forgot my question.
I want to read the whole chat, but...
All right, that's it. Put the chat up. Put the chat up.
Because I decided I didn't want to read the chat because I don't want to be the perpetuator of hate, although I am the hater. Manny, feel free to read the chat and let the conversation go out to the listeners. Because I'm confident nobody wants to talk about the main event that took place on Rampage anyway.
It started about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
When do you
Yeah.
start?
That's for the record. No, we can just start. Pick up from like 12 p.m.
For the record, Eddie Kingston defeated Daniel Garcia in the match.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's how Rampage went off.
And it started with Adam Cole and them in a tag match that doesn't really matter.
We already talked about that match, Marcus. We talked about that match.
Yeah. What happened in the middle? Oh, Britt Baker lost the Riho.
Marcus.
Oh, well. Rampage is covered. Okay? It is now time for the main event. And it is apparently in the Lumberchat.
Okay, so I think we've covered some of it. So, Lucho said DP being Daniel Price to get double penetrated.
Oh, what the hell?
Daniel Price retorts, "Are my nuts comfortable with me? Grew up on wrestling when it was good, you know, the 80s, the Road Warriors, Flair, Horseman, Dusty, etc., and dislike what it's become. Would you like to be better?" Chris then says, "Daniel Price, you clearly have no clue about wrestling in general. You made that very obvious to me."
I will point out that was very civilized by Chris. Very civilized. He's the face in this match. So
hold on. Can we all be different people? I'll be El Luchador. Sorry, bro. Okay. I would be Daniel Price then. I would be Daniel Price.
I guess I'm Chris then. Oh,
wow. All right, here we go. We get to reenact this.
Sorry, bro, but things change.
Chris, let me make
Can you read it right?
Yeah, I'm trying to read it.
Can you read?
I can't. Chris, let me make you look stupid real quick. Been watching a long time. Lots of different promotions. I bet you cash money. I know more about wrestling than you do or will. Bring it, son.
Those days are long gone.
Daniel Price, well, you honestly don't. When you actually been in a wrestling ring and wrestled a match, come back to me, boy.
I don't know why he's an old black man.
Why have we made this a dramatic reading of this?
You guys wanted it.
Darkchild, don't ever call me bro. Yeah, I'm aware things change, but evolving doesn't always mean better, little dude. I don't know why he's Hogan. But
you decided to take my voice.
But guess you missed the point of why I brought it up to begin with. Dun dun dun.
Enjoy the WWE Network for all your nostalgia. Bruh. Daniel, sorry, do you need a safe space?
At Chris Peacock, right? Just because you jumped out in a gym doesn't mean you know the business. Check yourself. Again, I still put money on me knowing more than you, Jack. What years out? It wasn't about nostalgia, Darky dude.
Daniel Price. Well, that shows you the idiot. Because why would there be any jobbers at a wrestling training, Smuck?
I'm not happy with you with this statement. Wrestling is an art, and art is subjective. Really, bro, you enjoy old art.
Hey, Chris, hey, Dorky Moss, to put my ring, ding-a-ling, in their mouths. But they were both terrible, so I withheld payment. I have no idea what I just read. Art is subjective. It's something tools say to try to defend trash. Not everything is art. I'm sorry. You're naive and think AEW is somehow good and or better than the WWE. That title will be Ruby's.
That's to do with the show. That's to do with the show.
Whoa. I'm okay with this.
Well, that shows your knowledge, because why would anybody get jobbed out at a wrestling training?
We got that one, I thought.
Hey, I'm just reading what's on the screen.
Chris Paul. Oh, so you haven't even made it to a match. You're some scrub in wrestling school and think you got some misguided entitlement superiority now. No, Chief. No.
Daniel Price, again, just shows your stupidity, because the best wrestling talents still go to wrestling school. Same for the people in WWE with the Performance Center. You just making yourself look worse. Daniel Price, again, shows your knowledge, because the best talent in wrestling still train at wrestling school. Thumbs up emoji. And that is the same for WWE talent at the Performance Center.
Daniel, your name calling is childish, and is what I expect when somebody doesn't agree with you. You're no wrestling fan, bro.
At Chris Peacock, I know people train at schools, doofus. Why miss the point, bud?
Who hurt you, Daniel? Who hurt you?
You're a dork. You are. It's your. He corrected the grammar. You started coming at me with stupid assumptions, dork. Can't take the heat? Get out the kitchen. You're no wrestling fan. Emoji. Oh, that's a tired narrative, kid.
Daniel Price. Well, so then your point just makes 0 sense. Head face slap emoji.
Why did that sound like you just sipped your whiskey and then took a drag of a cigarette? You motherfucker.
No good. Trifling motherfucker.
Tell me on the doll, teddy bear emoji, where Vince touched you. What the fuck? Where has this gone?
At Crispy.
This is what happens when wrestlers bad this week, because we just do this.
Yeah, at Chris Peacock. Let me break it down since you're kind of slow. Going to wrestling school doesn't mean, I feel like I said this 8 times. Going to wrestling school doesn't mean you are some walking wrestling encyclopedia by default. Pump those brakes. Oh, see, there you go again, dork. Talking smack. They're gonna act like you're a victim? Being passive aggressive isn't cool, little dude. Go ahead, set up a ring, book it. Dorcas ain't gonna make it home without a detour to the ER first.
Before I put the next comment on, I feel like this is more is going on while we currently do this.
Yes.
I really hate that we're not up to date. I don't know how long I keep this up.
Daniel Price. Once you step foot in the ring, your knowledge of the sport instantly rises as you can actually relate to what the people you're watching on TV are doing.
Bruh, I will shake your hand.
And Chris Peacock. That's great! Doesn't change the fact you're some smug punk that doesn't know as much as he thinks he does. More bass in your voice, dude.
And then take your mom to a lovely steak dinner and never call her again.
Daniel Price, let's face it. You probably always wanted to be a wrestler, but you probably just too fat and lazy to live out your dream.
Hello, Luchador. Nah. You can't scam on people's mouths from hospital beds, but you can try.
Daniel Price, let's face it. You probably always wanted to be a wrestler, but you just too lazy
Oh, we're good that
to
way.
live out your dream.
We did that way.
You did it twice.
Oh, man, this is sounding like a book on tape and a bargain bin at a Goodwill, but that's okay. Chrissy! I don't even know where that name came from. But Chrissy!
Chris,
Yeah, make less assumptions, least just because you're sensitive over honest criticism about AEW son. I'm sorry, truth about Punk triggers you.
bro, for real, I would destroy you in a fight. You hate wrestling, and that's okay.
Oh, wait, nobody's JK Smush.
We can all agree. Fuck the Hulk Hogan!
Family.
Okay, Dorcas. Come try sweet pea. Pack a lunch and a gun. Oh! Dude, I feel like there was a plot twist.
Daniel
got
Price. How does this have anything to do with CM Punk? You like brain cells clearly taken after your mother.
Oh, what the hell? No! I don't hate wrestling. You're just a sensitive bitch.
Sideways, crying, laughing face emoji, sideways, laughing face emoji.
Nope! No whiskey. But if you need a cigarette for dramatic effect, I got you. Yeah! If you keep this up, you guys might be here all day. And ain't none of us got that much time. I sure as hell don't myself.
Danny boy!
That's a shush, by the way.
And that, my friends,
Was the Goodwill version of reenacting what was going on in the chat room. So if you would like to come and join a party with us, we record live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 11 a.m. where you can actually come and join the party in the Lumber Chat. Be part of the family, because when wrestling is trash, at least we have the Lumber Chat to take care of us.
If it gets real like this again, we're gonna have to do another dramatic reading.
Yeah. And let me know that there are no right and wrong in wrestling fans. Just, we can all agree to disagree. Who cares who's right? Who cares how much experience you have? It's all about the performers on the screen and if they keep you entertained. If they do not, then who cares? If they do, all right then. You call it sharpshooter peace stealer. I feel like that is every wrestling forum I've ever been in, where there's just random hate, name calling, and all this other stuff, and how much experience they have. It never matters.
Thank you, and good night.
See you Tuesday.
Oh, see you Tuesday, Danny boy.
I can't wait for the pay-per-view of this triple threat match. More heat is in this than any of the wrestling shows combined, to be honest. I know CM Punk and MJF had their thing, but considering all the wrestling you see this week on this Thanksgiving holiday, I am thankful that we had this conversation.
I'll point out, this probably was the most entertaining thing that happened this week in professional wrestling, because this was a really bad week.
I was gonna say, if you liked this dramatic reading, wait for our Christmas content, where we have a dramatic reading of a Christmas play.
That we have still not agreed upon yet, but it's still being negotiated.
By the way, as El Luchador said, the lumberchat got real. I know Manny is El Luchador. Also, wrestling is an art and subjective. That's something
He let me down with that. He let me down with that comment. He let me down.
Manny's pettiness was like, no, I gotta come back.
As much as I had his back because I was playing him in that thing, I don't feel like that was the route we should have taken.
I
You
saw
took the high road.
Manny,
You took
Manny,
the high
I
road,
saw-
and the person that you reading the content normally would take the low road. I would have taken the low road.
Manny,
and I would've
I
went for the
saw-
Manny's like the script. Manny was about to scratch that out the script and write his own lines. Oh, no, I gotta come back.
saw as Manny was reading, he was disappointed with the comebacks that El Luchador was coming up with. But towards the later end, he had more respect for him when he started talking about his mama. He was like, that is the petty that I needed to have because the high road was just too much for him.
Yeah, Luchador, you don't need to take the high road. You know who's playing you. You need to go the low road.
I felt Chris was just, he was going for the jugular. Every time he made points, he was just going for it. And Daniel Price,
every sentence where you have to hit the Daniel Price.
yes.
I died laughing. I couldn't hold it. Daniel Price.
And then Daniel Price is just the ultimate heel. He was fighting everybody in the promo. He was going after El Luchador and after Chris.
He was essentially Dan Lambert, right?
Pretty
Talking
much.
about his 80s tapes and shit. Talking about the way it used to be.
And let's just point out, this all started over because we were talking about the CM Punk and MJF thing, and unfortunately, that was the most entertaining thing the whole week in professional wrestling, and that's sad.
Is that the end of the show?
AEW, WWE, Impact, not Ring of Honor since you're on hiatus. You need to do better.
Blame Ring of Honor anyway. Blame Ring of Honor anyway. It's the holiday week. Everybody taking off. I don't mind it.
I didn't take off.
As Daniel Price said, ain't nobody got time for all this. Some people got to go to work today, and I am that person. So,
JK Smisher, we too old for this shit.
Marcus, I didn't take off this week, Marcus. I smoked not one, not two, but 3 turkeys. True, only one of them came out right.
Now, if you were in the 70s, if this was the 70s, you'd be wanted and questioning for murder with that type of thing. I smoked 2 turkeys, not 1, not 2, but 3 turkeys. Giant turkeys at that. Giant turkeys at that.
Drive turkeys. Anyway, I think that has been a very thought-provoking and exciting episode of this Saturday edition. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you can join the chat room, be part of the Lumberchat, and just come and party with us. Have a good time. Also, if you want to email to the show, you can do one to the sharpshooters@gmail.com. With all that being
Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes. The show don't end till you end the show.
You have to end the show. End the show. End the show, damn it. It's going to get weird when I start hitting leave studio on this button and you start getting weird squares.
Oh, Eric.
Daniel Price is a pussy.
I love they end on a very mature note.
Although none of that is in the audio because I actually stopped the audio recording when Manny dropped the bomb, and I was like, I thought that was it. So Manny, now I need you to send me the audio to actually put it into the show properly.
We don't need that last part.
Marcus, I had to yell out Daniel Price is a pussy on the show.
You do not have to yell that out. Neither did Chris Peacock have to yell that out at the end of the show. Neither one of you guys have to do it. You're taking this meta action too serious. Now you become Mr. Peacock.
You remember when I became who was I?
Oh dear.
Funny how Chrissy had to block me first. Didn't say that.
Oh shit! I didn't know it got serious. We was blocking people. Damn.
I didn't know we were still in this. What are we doing? Let's just end the show. The hate is rolling through the streets tonight.
I want to see how far this goes. You two can go. I will stay here.
Marcus, you know what? I got a job to do. I ain't got shit else to do.
You motherfuckers. I want to see it too. Chrissy, you little lady. Some people don't plug people. They call them pussies.
Danny doesn't know a headlock from a hand job, even though he gives out plenty of hand. Wow!
Wow!
What the fuck?
Whoa!
Woo! I feel like
Manny, we might want to stop because we don't want to be accountable if anything happens.
Yeah, if something happens, they'll be like, "Oh, can we have the sharpshooters come to the trial?" Eric is like, "Understand? What did you say, Eric? What did you say?" I said, "Daniel Price."
you a pussy.
Yo, really didn't block you, bro. Anyway, let's end it, Eric. End the show.
I ended it already. But Manny decided to do. No, first of all, y'all ain't gonna tell me what to do. Both of you. You ain't gonna tell me what to do.
Daniel Price. End the show.
Daniel Price.
If we can get Daniel Chris to tell Daniel Eric to end the show in the voice of Daniel Price, it'll make it easier.
Actually, that's what happened, Daniels. If you do use cuss words, it doesn't show up, but it shows up on our end.
Oh.
You know what? Fuck you. Don't you try to do that. Maybe. Oh, okay. Ooh.
Oh my god. Wait, we don't have
Maybe it's just.
Y'all have to act this out in the courtroom. I think I'm safe because I don't come
Chrissy and Dorkalina could never make it as a wrestler. Both of them are way too touchy and bitchy, like menopausal, middle-aged women. Like someone gave them a bad comment over their dresses.
Bitch, that dress is ugly. On that note, girl,
I can't believe you wearing white after Labor Day.
Marcus, you know when it was your birthday? And you said
Yes.
you gave away 8% of your pay? I think I know where it went. Extradite money for the trap.
All right, here we go.
Daniel Price, I'm ending the show.